it feels like I'm missing some part of my life. It's that I would like to step into that part of my life, but I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I probably am missing out, but I think the fear of rejection is bigger than what I'm missing. So it's easier to be safe. And I'm afraid I've talked to hundreds of people and it's very, very common.
It is. It's very, very common. So good for you for being so brave and courageous for exploring this right now in front of all these people.
Only for
So
you, Dr. Wendy.
thank you, Dr. Donna Marie. So, so how certain are you that it's really true that you would be rejected if you were to risk?
I'm not. I don't have any evidence of it. It's just
Yeah,
a belief. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So there's some flexibility there. There's possibility that you could become less and less certain about that one.
definitely.
Okay,
Could
good.
we? Okay, let's stop right here. I have a question here from
Oh,
Dracula on Blog TV. Wants to know, why is love and happiness turned into a sideshow if it's natural? Is that, I guess this is back to the beginning of our conversation where it's just supposed to happen. Why
oh,
can't we
okay.
just have love and happiness? Why is it so hard?
Well, it doesn't have to be so hard. And it becomes hard when we don't know ourselves very well and don't know what we're looking for and let our hormones be in charge and just focus on attraction and forget about the other things that are important to us. So we want to use our hearts and our heads when we're making choices and make wiser choices. And then it is easy. Does
Well,
that
so
answer the question?
I think that goes back to the amplification of the clarity that if we have criteria
Mm-hmm.
by which we judge potential mates and
Yeah.
others, that we won't just walk into any bar or any dance or any meeting and anyone who talks with us is not a potential mate. We've
No.
got filters. And so if we have that clarity, I think that life begins to be much more we have a solid path to say, do you share my values? Do you
Yeah.
believe in honesty? Do you believe in monogamy? Do you believe in some of these very fundamental core beliefs?
Yeah.
And then maybe we will talk. But if you don't believe in my core beliefs, then we can talk for 30 seconds and I need to move around the room. So I think maybe if we have that as a filter, we could begin to screen a little better.
Yes, we could be much more discerning and also make sure that if you're looking for a life partner, you want to be dating people who also are looking for a life partner, not just somebody who wants to have some fun for the evening. So that's another criteria to screen on,
Yeah.
which seems obvious, but so often I hear heartache stories about, one person wants marriage, the other person wants to hang out.
Yeah. Well, I think it's difficult when someone pays attention to you. I think it's natural to try to reciprocate and either make it work or uh, just basically you're appreciating the attention
Yes,
and you're not in a position to filter or reject the attention, so you just let it drift. And then all of a sudden we're in a relationship that's not meant to be, and then it's more difficult to extract yourself, as we've all know
yes,
that.
yes. So better to be cautious getting in and make that wise choice and who you choose to get involved with, and then you'll be a lot happier in the relationships that you do have.
Okay, let's get back to my beliefs. Am I cured
Okay.
yet?
Well, I've got a little process. So the first piece is to look at how, not just look at it, but really feel what it feels like. And it's usually kind of constricting and uncomfortable and not that fun when they're limiting and impeding beliefs. It's not like, oh boy, this is great. It's usually like heaviness or a pit in your stomach or something like that. And then we look at, well, how certain is it that how certain are you that it's really true, that this is really the truth, that you'll be rejected? And you said not so certain, which is good, because when you're absolutely certain, then it's a little harder because it's like you're solidly convinced that's just the way it is. When there's some room for wiggle room, a little flexibility, then be
Okay,
open.
good.
That's so then you want to look at this belief of yours and say, well, did you ever choose it? Did you ever decide, well, this would be a good one? I want that. I want to pick that belief that I'll be rejected.
Oh, absolutely not. It's not a conscious choice. It's a
I
choice that
course not.
At this after a series of rejections or difficulties,
Of course.
all of the entire lifetime of rejection seem to present themselves at your feet.
Yeah.
And if you're down, then you seem to accept them. So I think a lot of us have the same difficulties where when you're down, you really basically let all of the negatives in and just piles on. So it's
Yeah.
very, very demoralizing.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
if you let it go on too long, then so one of the things I let everyone know, I'm thrilled that I am now the bouncing back relationship expert because I've come back from the abyss. So
Oh,
I've
good for you.
mastered, I found the path out of the bottom. So it's really important. And but getting ready for the new relationship is a whole nother step.
Yeah. So congratulations, and
Well,
that's huge.
thank you very
Yes,
much.
yes, yes. So you want to look at, okay, obviously no one would ever choose any of these competing limiting beliefs, and of course they were unconscious or indoctrinated things that we pick up long ago. And the good news, so you didn't revisit and look at beliefs that will be rejected, and take another perspective and decide, okay, well, is this something I'd like to choose to continue to believe? Given you have a choice in this moment.
Yeah, it's not serving me, but
Right.
the
Mhm.
I guess it depends on your sense of adventure. When you're satisfied with where you are, you tend to stay where you are.
Mhm.
But sooner or later, you become dissatisfied and say, wait a minute, I deserve more than this. And
Yeah.
then you can build up that energy and then move forward.
Yeah. So I'm getting that it's not really something that's serving you that you want to hang on to. And
No,
is
no.
there another belief that might really serve you and feel like, yeah, that this is something I could take on and believe, and it would be empowering and helpful and serve me much better in my life and in my relationships.
Yeah. So welcome our listeners on Blog TV. Come on in with questions. We've got Dr. Wendy online, a psychologist for